Chitra, you wrote me an email, and you've had 3 of what we call impossible healings.
That's right.
And we're going to go through them one at a time. The first one was with your neck.
That's right.
And tell me how you had a neck pain, like a 9 or 10 level or something like that for what, weeks or so? Is that correct?
That's right. For about 3 to 3.5 weeks, I was having severe neck pain. The vertebral spots would be a little tender, and the skin over my neck and over my shoulder would feel like, as if I was having some kind of a burning pain.
Yeah. And a level, if I recall right.
Yeah, around 9 to 10.
9 or 10 in that area. And so you brought in an unseen therapist, and I think you said it vanished almost immediately. And it's still gone 2 or 3 weeks later.
Yeah, that's right. I have not experienced the pain anymore. And I waited for about 2 to 3 weeks before I could say that, yes, it healed me like pretty much like almost instantaneously. And I have not experienced that pain again because of the healing.
Yeah. Now, you and I talked about this a little bit before our recording here, but what had happened was there was some emotional issues and so on that were going on that might have been a cause, if you will, of the neck pain. But you didn't, in this case, you didn't aim at the cause. You aimed simply at the symptom.
That's
correct?
Right. That's right.
Yeah, okay. And bingo, we got our result. I just want those listening in, while we can aim at symptoms and sometimes get these rather astonishing healings like you just got, oftentimes we have to go to in-depth causes, et cetera, but not so in this case. So in this case. You were using the personal peace procedure as described in my introductory book. You were using simply introductory versions of this.
That's right.
Yeah, and here we are. Okay, great. Now, you also did something surrogately for your dog. Your dog had allergies and
yes, allergies and chronic ear infections.
Yeah, talk about that a bit, would you?
Yeah, so my dog is about 5 years old now, and from about maybe 6.5 months of his life, he has had some kind of allergies. The veterinarians described it as seasonal allergies or allergies to some food. They were never really able to determine the cause of his allergies, but he would invariably every now and then have chronic ear infections. And I would have to, initially when I would go to the vets, they would ask me to put some steroid ear drops and stuff like that. And then it would go away for some time and then be back again. This was more easy. And I could actually just, it was just a request I was putting because I know he suffers when he gets ear infections. So I aimed it at the first time that I remembered him getting the infection at around 6 months of age. It was right after his vaccination, and he was chewing his paws and he was in distress. And so I aimed it at that. And over a period of maybe 10 days or so, I have noticed that he's not chewing and licking his paws as much. He's not scratching himself so much. And he still does. It's not completely gone, but his ear infections, I had specifically requested that it would be goopy and blackish kind of when it's at the peak of infection, that it become healthy baby pink in color. Please make him have a good healing and make it healthy baby pink in color. And that's how his ears are now. There's barely any blackish goop left in there. And most of it is almost nice pink. And sure. He's a lot more comfortable, sleeps a lot better. And yeah.
Well, just so listeners will know, we do this a lot for our animals, our pets, dogs, cats, horses, and so on, and oftentimes get results even though we cannot communicate, in language, with the dogs or the pets. But yet doing it surrogately, we can get a lot done. So that's an example. Now, The third one is your husband. He had to have a tooth extracted.
That's right.
By the
Two of
dentist.
them.
Two of them. Okay.
Yes.
And usually when you have one extracted, I mean, you're in pain and, he doesn't go away just like that, when you go to the dentist,
Yeah.
But it did almost go away like that, the pain, et cetera. Talk about that some, could you?
Yeah. So when my husband had to get two of his teeth extracted, before they started the procedure, the anesthetic and the local and all that stuff, before that, I did sit down for a few minutes and I invited the unseen therapist to help with the dental extraction and to bring about a really uncomplicated and complete healing. And I had invited the unseen therapist. So after the tooth extraction came out, after the tooth was extracted, there was absolutely very minimal swelling, which was a very uncommon. You usually have quite a bit of swelling.
Sure.
Sometimes there's a lot of bleeding, and he had absolutely no pain and very minimal swelling. And I totally attribute it to having invited the unseen therapist and requesting an easy extraction and an uncomplicated, no complications after the extractions.
Sure. And those kinds of things are considered basically impossible because, it's beyond the typical reach of man-made methods. Most dentists won't tell you very many stories like that. Okay.
True.
Now, and I just want to add in there, aiming it again, not at cause.
True.
In this case, there probably wasn't much of an emotional
right.
dentist and pulled his tooth out. Something like I had a very serious injury to my left knee, 2-3 years ago, and I thought I was going to be on crutches for weeks, and it was gone in a day after being an unseen therapist and so on. So these become impossible.